And she was not an ordinary woman. She was the goddess of the river itself.
Then I make a new promise. A terrible promise.
The world shook at this promise. The gods in the sky were amazed. They shouted a new name for him. Bhishma. He took his bow, aimed, and shot.
Goodbye, my king.
And just like that, she was gone. He sent for the first widow, Ambika. Ambika was so scared she closed her eyes and didn't open them. Later, she had a son. But because she kept her eyes closed,
My king, your son is born under evil signs. He will bring destruction to our family. For the good of everyone, you must let him go.
before great wars, there are great stories. Before great stories, there are great secrets. This is the secret's beginning of the world's greatest epic. A story of a family torn apart. A story of a terrible promise. A story of a curse that doomed a king. This is the story of the Mahabharata. And it all started not with a battle, but with a king who fell in love. It is a tale of 5 brilliant brothers and 100 jealous cousins. Their fight would become a legend, but every legend has a first chapter. This is that chapter. Meet King Shantanu. He ruled the powerful kingdom of Hastinapur. He had everything except for love. One day by the river, he found it. Her name was Ganga. And she was not an ordinary woman. She was the goddess of the river itself.
Who are you? You must be a goddess. Will you be my queen?
I will, king. But you must promise me one thing. Never ever ask me who I am or why I do what I do. Promise me.
I promise.
Blinded by love, the king agreed. They married. She gave him a son. The kingdom celebrated. But then, the queen did something unthinkable. She drowned her own baby. The king was shocked, but he had promised not to question her. His heart broke, but he stayed silent. It happened 7 times. 7 sons were born. 7 sons were lost to the river. When the 8th son was born, the king's heart finally broke.
No! Stop! You monster! Why are you doing this?
You broke your promise. Now I must leave. Those children were not mine to keep. They were cursed souls, and I set them free. This last son, I will take. I will raise him to be the greatest prince this world has ever seen. I will call him Devavrata. I will return him to you one day. Goodbye, my king.
And just like that, she was gone. The king was left with nothing but a broken heart and a lonely throne. Years later, the goddess kept her word. She returned Devavrata, now a young man. He was strong, wise, and kind, the perfect prince. The king was happy, but a part of him was still empty. One day, King Shantanu was hunting when he smelled a magical fragrance. He followed it and found its source, a young woman named Satyavati. He fell in love instantly. He went to her father to ask for her hand in marriage.
I am the king. I wish to marry your daughter.
It is a great honor, Your Majesty. But I have one condition. The throne must go to her sons, not to your son, Devavrat.
The king was trapped. He loved Satyavati, but he could not steal the throne from his perfect son, Devavrata. He returned to the palace and fell into a deep sadness. Devavrata saw his father's pain and knew he had to do something. Devavrata goes to the fisherman's hut.
I see my father is sad because of you. What is your condition?
The throne must go to my daughter's children, not to you or your children.
That is easy. I don't need a throne. I promise you, I will never be king. Satyavati's son will rule.
I believe you, Prince. But what about your sons? What if they want the throne and fight my grandsons for it?
Then I make a new promise. A terrible promise. I will never get married. I will never have a wife. I will never have children. My life will be dedicated to protecting the throne, but I will never sit on it. Let the gods be my witness.
Bhishma, 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 Bhishma. The world shook at this promise. The gods in the sky were amazed. They shouted a new name for him. Bhishma. It means the one who made a terrible promise. His sacrifice was so huge it earned him a new name. Bhishma saved his father's happiness and saved the kingdom. But his terrible promise would one day lead to a terrible war. Time passed. King Shantanu grew old and died. Sadly, his two young sons also died. There was no one to rule Hastinapura. The future looked dark. The Queen Mother, Satyavati, was desperate. She had one last hope. She called for her secret first son, a powerful sage named Vyasa.
My son, our family line will end. You must help my two widowed daughters-in-law have children. You must bless them.
Vyasa agreed. But he warned that the children would be exactly like their mothers were when they met him. He sent for the first widow, Ambika. Ambika was so scared she closed her eyes and didn't open them. Later, she had a son. But because she kept her eyes closed, her son was born blind. They named him Dhritarashtra. Queen Satyavati is upset. She sends the second widow, Ambalika. Balika was so scared, her face turned white as a sheet. She had a son who was born very pale and weak. They named him Pandu. Satyavati, still not happy, asks Ambika to try again. Ambika is too scared. Instead, she sends her own maidservant. The maid was not scared. She was calm and good. She had a son who was born wise and intelligent. His name was Vidura. The three boys grow up. Dhritarashtra is strong but blind. Pandu is a great archer, but weak. Vidura is the wisest. Because the eldest son, Dhritarashtra, was blind, his younger brother Pandu became the king. Pandu was a great king. He made the kingdom bigger and stronger. But his success would not last. One day, King Pandu was hunting. He saw something move in the bushes. He took his bow, aimed, and shot.
Ah, you have killed me. You shot me while I was with my wife. This is a terrible crime.
Oh no, a sage! I'm so sorry. I thought you were a deer.
Your arrow kills my chance to have a child. So now I curse you. The moment you try to be with your wife, the moment you try to have a child of your own, you will die.
The king was destroyed. He was cursed. He could never have children. He gave his crown to his blind brother, Dhritarashtra, and left for the forest to live a simple life with his two wives, Kunti and Madri.
My life is over. Our family name will die with me. I have failed.
My husband, I have a secret. When I was young, a holy man gave me a special gift, a magical prayer. If I use it, I can ask any god to give me a child.
Can it be true? Our family can continue.
And so, Kunti used the magical prayer. She called upon the god of truth and justice. And a son was born. He was calm and good. They named him Yudhishthira. Then Kunti called upon the god of wind. A second son was born. He was incredibly strong. They named him Bhima. Then she called upon the king of the gods. A third son was born. He would become the world's greatest archer. They named him Arjuna. Kunti then shared her secret with the other wife, Madri. Madri called upon the twin gods of medicine. Madri had twin sons. They were named Nakula and Sahadeva. These 5 boys were called the Pandavas. They were miracles. They were the sons of gods. But back in the palace, something strange and scary was happening. The blind king's wife, Gandhari, was pregnant for 2 years. When she finally gave birth, it was not to a baby, but to a hard ball of flesh. Everyone was horrified. But the sage Vyasa arrived again. Vyasa broke the lump into 100 pieces. He put each piece into a separate pot of butter. From these pots, 100 sons grew. The first one to come out was named Duryodhana. As he was born, animals cried out in a scary way. It was a bad sign. The wise Vidura knew it.
My king, your son is born under evil signs. He will bring destruction to our family. For the good of everyone, you must let him go.
No, he is my son, my firstborn. I will not abandon him. He will make me proud.
The blind king's love for his son made him blind to the danger. He kept the baby. These 100 boys were called the Kauravas. And so, the 2 sides were born. In the bright sunny forest, the 5 Pandava brothers, sons of gods, raised with love. In the dark, jealous palace, the 100 Kaurava brothers, led by Duryodhana. They were cousins. Their futures were tied together. The stage was set for a collision, a terrible, world-changing collision. Next time the cousins meet, a teacher's favorite student is chosen, a house of fire is built, and the first seeds of hatred